You know those nursery rhymes when we were kids? The simple little tunes we all sang without even thinking about it? Well, it turns out there's so much more than just catchy jingles. What if I told you they're actually some of the most powerful and complex stories we ever learn? In this explainer, we're going to dive in and see exactly how.
I bet you just heard that melody in your head, didn't you? That one line, it's like a time machine, right? It's this powerful piece of shared memory that instantly takes us all back to a simpler time.
Because there is a story. In fact, there's some incredible narrative genius hiding in these super simple verses. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to deconstruct two of the most famous rhymes out there to uncover how they work their magic on our brains.
I mean, think about it. For most of us, these rhymes are our very first introduction to the core ideas of storytelling. Long before we pick up a book or watch a movie, we're learning about characters, conflict, and resolution from these little songs.
And that's the key takeaway right there. These rhymes are basically mini masterclasses in narrative structure, perfectly packaged for the youngest minds. Today, we're going to unpack two really powerful but totally different storytelling models that you probably learned before you could even walk.
Right. Let's start with our first case study, the classic lullaby, Upar Pankha Chalta. It might just sound like a bunch of random things happening, but trust me, there is a very deliberate structure hidden inside.
So what's really interesting here is how all the action plays out. First, the child is sleepy and hungry. Then they get an empty peanut. Bummer. Then a cat shows up, which leads to the uncle getting scratched. But notice where all this happens. In one single location, right under that fan. It's a series of small, contained little dramas, not some grand journey.
And this line is perfect. It's a tiny little plot twist. For a child, it's this moment of humorous denial and disappointment. It's a miniature conflict that's introduced and then resolved in a heartbeat. It's a little joke, and then the story just moves right along.
Now, there's a name for this kind of storytelling. It's called a cyclical narrative. Everything happens in this safe, contained little loop. There's no big adventure, no real journey. And this structure is absolutely perfect for a lullaby because its repetitive, predictable nature is incredibly soothing. It creates a feeling of stability, not suspense. Okay, let's switch gears completely and look at a rhyme that builds a totally different kind of world. Ek Mota Hathi. This one uses an entirely different playbook for telling its story.
This rhyme is what's known as a cumulative tale. As you can see, the story literally gets bigger and bigger with every verse. One elephant becomes two, then three, and so on. The cast of characters keeps expanding, and as it does, the adventure gets bigger too.
And unlike our first rhyme, this one is all about a journey. These elephants aren't staying in one place. They're on the move, and they face a series of challenges that get bigger each time. They get trapped, they fall into mud, they even get tangled in a spider's web. This is your classic linear plot with a clear beginning, middle, and end.
So the crucial thing here is that forward momentum. Every single verse pushes the story to the next stage. You've got clear obstacles, the stakes keep rising, and then finally you get that happy resolution where they're all freed and get to dance. It's a complete adventure story, just boiled down into a few simple lines.
Okay, so we've looked at two very different story structures. One is cyclical and soothing, the other is linear and adventurous. So why are they so good? What's the science behind this poetic magic that makes them stick with us for life?
This slide really puts it all together, doesn't it? On one hand, you have the contained, comforting loop of the lullaby. It's perfect for bedtime. On the other hand, you have this exciting, forward-moving adventure that builds anticipation and makes you want to know what happens next. Two rhymes, two totally fundamental blueprints for how to tell a story.
And what's amazing is that they both use the same core ingredients. Repetition makes them super easy to remember. The cause and effect is simple enough for any kid to get. The cat showed up, so the uncle got scratched. The stakes, being hungry or getting stuck, are totally relatable. And most importantly, they both offer a clear, satisfying ending. And this, right here, is the real takeaway. Long before any of us ever learn about plot diagrams in a classroom, these rhymes are teaching us everything we need to know. They are a child's first and, maybe most important, masterclass in how to build a story from the ground up.
So, the next time you hear one of these simple nursery rhymes, listen a little closer. You might be surprised by the sophisticated story it's actually trying to tell. Think about it. What stories did you learn before you even knew you were learning?